I'm back and I'm worried. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Sham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, I've been holding off on a video, watching the games, and it hasn't been great. The Raptors have lost three in a row, and I love this team, but I am a little bit worried. And I'll get into exactly why I am. So, without further ado, let's talk Raptors. So, guys, the Raptors lost against, what was it, Indiana. Then they lost against the Celtics. And now they have lost against Memphis yesterday. And for some reason, it just seems like this team is not looking like the team they are capable of being. And there's a few things that are worrying me and that have contributed to these losses. Number one has been the injuries. Okay. So I understand injuries are a part of the game, and you're gonna have them all through the season. But it seems like the Raptors are just getting the injury bug, man. Every time somebody gets healthy, another guy goes off. So we haven't been able to get that rhythm together. The chemistry seems off because Nick Nurse has to plug in, random guys every now and then because this guy's getting injured. Gary Trent finally had it going. His calf goes out. OG had it going. He gets that, hip pointer. Cam Birch was finally getting in rhythm with, the pick and roll and everything like that with Freddie. He's out. And it just seems like it's one after the other, another, and the Raptors just can't keep, develop that chemistry that they need in order to succeed. And I think that also, like, in addition to the injuries, the inconsistency or the lack of chemistry also has to do with Nick Nurse. Again, I've been adamant on this. Nick Nurse's constant changes in the lineups. It seems like he is constantly playing around and not letting at least, the bench guys. The bench guys aren't injured. Let them at least play together for a long period duration of time. Yeah, you'll get some losses in the start, but then you'll eventually start winning. But it seems like every game there's a different lineup coming in and out, different lineup coming in and out. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, he benched Chris Boucher. You are already depleted in your resources, and you're putting an offensive weapon. Yeah, he's struggling. That's fine. But you're putting him on the bench for a full game, especially against the Boston Celtics, where you're already short, like, in size compared to his Al Horford, the Williams guy who jumps like, he can jump 6-story high. It just seems like, Nick Nurse is also contributing to the inconsistency. Injuries are a part of it, and I admit that. But, as a coach, you got to figure it out, and you got to give guys a little bit more leeway. I understand he's given it to Chris Boucher in the past, but come on, man. There's got to be at least four guys that play together consistently and good amount of minutes. And that's worrying me. If this continues, we are going to struggle. The second point I have for you guys is our three-point shooting. I have no idea what the hell is happening. It's the new, the Wilson balls that they started using now instead of the Spaldings. And I guess the whole league might be struggling with it, but the Raptors were already a shit team in three-point shooting, and now they're even struggling even more, and it doesn't seem like they're getting any better. Because against the Indiana Pacers, against the Indiana Pacers, they shot 31%. Against the Boston Celtics. Sorry, guys. Against the Indiana Pacers, they shot 23% from the three-point line. And against Memphis, they shot 25.6%. That is abysmal. That is disgusting. And, this league is a three-point shooting league. You can shoot as many twos as you want, but if you don't shoot the three well, at least 35 to 40% as a team, you are going to not win any of the game, especially against good teams. And the teams we just played, they weren't that good, and I'll get to that. So it's just like they need to step that game up. And we have three-point shooters. I'm not saying we don't. We got Freddie. Gary Trent is injured, but again, I guess he contributes to the betterment of that. We got, Malachi, who needs to improve that shot. He can be a three-point shooter. Siakam is as a good three-point shooter. Scotty Barnes is actually becoming a very good three-point shooter. Precious Achiuwa is, a stable enough three-point shooter, at least from the corners. And it seems like anybody coming off the bench isn't those three-point shooters. And this is where I identify, and I said this, we should have not released Sam Decker. We should have released Isaac Bonga. Why? Because no matter how crap Sam Decker's defense might have been, he still gave us a 45% three-point shooter, which we would have been able to use right now with all these injuries. You didn't have to play the guy. But he was far better of an offensive weapon than Isaac Bonga. How much defense do you necessarily need, Nick Nurse? I don't get it. You do need some offense. You keep releasing guys that would have been able to give you offense just because they're not up to that standard of your defense. You have 4 guys playing good defense. If that guy can play just like 70% of OG Anunoby's defense or even 50% of it, you will be fine because he will cover it on his offensive end, and that's what Sam Decker would have done. At least that's the way I feel. And it's just frustrating to see that we're just getting bricks after bricks after bricks from our bench. And that's my third point. Our bench is crap. Our bench is right now crap. And that's part of the inconsistency of not injuries in all different lineups. But our bench for the past 3 games, one game they had 13 points, the other game they had 25 points, and another game they had 15 points. That's 3 games of total of almost only 60 points. 60 points, 3 games. That is crap. Why? Because we do not have offensive weapons. All we have are defensive weapons. We don't have those three-point shooters coming off the bench like, teams like freaking Phoenix does, like Golden State does. They're not superstar players coming off the bench. That's why they're on the bench. But they're good three-point shooters. And they cover the starters until the starters are able to come back and be able to give you that offensive, stability, at least, that you'll get enough points that you won't lose big leads. The Raptors don't have that. Their bench is crap. Malachi Flynn is a good player, but he's not getting consistent minutes, so his shot is not consistent. Delano Benton is a good player, but his three-point shot is not that good. Isaac Bonga, I don't see much in there. Chris Boucher, he's been inconsistent from the 3 also. Who's left? Yuta Watanabe, he's just getting back and his shot is okay, but it's not as good. Svi Mihailuk has been struggling. He's a good player, but why? Why would you release an offensive weapon like Sam Decker? I don't get it. Or even Ishmael Wainwright, man. He was shooting the 3 very good in the preseason, so I don't get it. And it worries me because if you're not beating teams, this is my 4th point, guys. If you're not beating teams that you should be beating, like Indiana, Memphis, Celtics, who are all struggling, then how are you going to beat the Brooklyn Nets, the Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers suck right now, like Phoenix Suns, possibly Milwaukee Bucks once they get healthy, the Miami Heat? All of those teams are going to whoop our ass. Even Washington seems like a way better team right now because, they're sitting at the top. So it seems like Raptors just don't have it at this time, and especially from their bench. I think there needs to be a trade made. And if that means we got to, part ways with Chris Boucher or Malachi Flynn, in addition to Goran Dragic, we got to do it because we need another offensive weapon coming off the bench at least, or that can be plugged in to be a starter and be effective during the injuries. And the second thing we need is a center. The teams are able to get to the paint as freely as they want because there's no shot blocking. There's no fear of shot blocking, and that is why the Raptors are just giving away points. They're struggling defensively because everybody has to concentrate on getting the rebounds, and it's just becoming an abysmal. And I'm worried, guys. I don't think it's going to be a tanking season, but I'm worried because I expect more from this team. And I guess the injury, once we get the injury, we'll have a better idea once we get everybody back. But at this time, everything is looking glim. It's not looking good. And hopefully it'll get better. As a Raptor fan, I will keep on thinking about that, and I will keep believing in this team no matter what. But there needs to be improvement made. I'm a realistic person, and that's what I feel. So, guys, That's what I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully we will have a good game tomorrow. I forgot who we're playing, but anyways, look out for that video, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.